At dawn, when the forest still held its breath and the mist clung low to the earth, a thunderous crack shattered the quiet. A massive tree, old, heavy, and swollen with last night's rain, fell across the path that led to the open fields. And beneath that pale morning light, a lone ox named Bramble stared at the fallen trunk as if it were a challenge thrown straight at his hooves. He lowered his head, snorted, dug into the dirt. "This is nothing," Bramble muttered, muscle rolling beneath his hide. "I can do this. I always do this." He pushed. The tree didn't budge. He pushed harder, hooves scraping, breath steaming, neck trembling with strain. The trunk only seemed to sink deeper into the mud, as if mocking him. Bramble's legs wobbled, his chest burned. His pride prickled sharper than the ache in his shoulders. "No," he growled through gritted teeth. "I don't need help. I don't." But the forest could hear the truth in his voice. And so could someone else. A tiny flutter, soft as a sigh, landed on the trunk. A small bird, dusty brown and no bigger than Bramble's ear, tilted her head at him. "You look tired," she chirped gently. "I'm fine," Bramble snapped, though his legs were shaking. "This is my path, my job, my burden, and I'll move it." The bird peered down the impossible length of the fallen tree, then back at him. "What if you didn't have to do it alone?" Bramble huffed. You weigh less than a leaf in winter. What could you possibly do?" The bird didn't argue. She simply fluttered to the tree's far end and pressed her tiny wings against the bark. "Push with me," she said. "Just try." Bramble almost laughed, almost refused, almost turned away, but something cracked inside him, quieter than the tree's fall but far more important, a small, reluctant hope. He stepped beside her, planted his hooves, lowered his head. "1," she chirped. Bramble exhaled. "2." He leaned in. "3, push!" Their efforts were mismatched, one enormous, one almost invisible. But something shifted. Not the tree, Bramble. For the first time, he felt another creature's effort beside his own. A thread of unity, a flicker of shared force. The bird fluttered harder, Bramble pushed deeper, and the forest seemed to hum with possibility. The tree groaned, moved an inch, then another. Mud suctioned free with a wet gasp as the trunk rolled just enough for the path to open. Bramble stumbled back, panting, stunned. "You," he breathed, looking at the tiny bird. "You actually helped. You did the heavy part," she said warmly. "I only showed you where together began." Bramble felt something unfamiliar wash through him. Not embarrassment, not weakness, but relief. Soft, grounding relief. "You know," he murmured, "the world feels lighter with two." The bird fluttered to his horn, lightly perching. "Most burdens do." As the sun climbed and lit the clearing with gold, Bramble stepped forward, path open again. Not because he was strong enough alone, but because he had finally learned that strength grows when shared. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.